Hello and welcome to another session of the Mastermind Book Club. I'm CEO David Diaz, and to my left is Reggie Hilliard, to my right, Chaz Culmer. In this session, we are summarizing a very important audiobook, The Creator Code. Master this and you'll never struggle again. This is done by Audiobooks Empowerment. I'd like to call on one of our mastermind to give his brief summary, and that is Reggie Hilliard.
Hi, everyone. Reggie Hilliard at the Mastermind Book Club. Creator Code. What I'm going to stay in the space of, well, maybe one or two things. We'll see. Is talking about the vibration, the frequency of the individual. What allows you to bring things to you, which has to do with how you're resonating, right? So a lot of times we think about things in terms of time, being able to get to a place because of over a certain amount of time. It's going to take me X amount of years, X amount of months, whatever it may be. But it's not necessarily that at all, because there are people who go through this thing we call time and never receive or never get to a specific state, a place, because really it's not about that. It's actually about the signal you're putting out, the frequency that you're operating at, such that you make yourself a magnet, or magnetize yourself to the place, to being able to receive the things that you're looking to receive. So if you can really get that and hone in on that, become the frequency that that is necessary to create a particular response, then that particular thing that you would like to have happen or would like to receive will become inevitable. It's really about that. And it's not about how much force you put out, and demand and those types of things. It's really about alignment. If you can get your alignment right, you can get your life right. And that's across the board. You can make things come to you. You can have everything that it is that you desire just by getting to that radio signal, if you will. You just shift to that version of you that it exists in some parallel existence, make it such that you become that person or that individual, that entity, based on what I'm speaking to, and the things that you are working towards will definitely come up or come to pass. So that's where I'll stop.
And that's true. That's how things come to pass when you start doing as Reggie said. Thank you very much, Reggie Hilliard. I'd like to call on Chaz Culmer to give his brief summary.
Wow, that was great, Reg. Good evening and welcome to another edition of the Mastermind Book Club. As Reg had spoken, the guide code. The guide code, he mentioned frequency. Frequency is the inline, I guess, the inline frequency or the inline linking. That's a good word. Frequency is the inline linking with God. For we are all linked to God. We are the sheep of his pastors, and he dwells in us. So there is a God frequency. As I said many times on the platform, you are not what you see in the mirror. You're more than that. And when we're born, we get caught in, as the book talks about, circumstances. We get caught in, isms. We get caught into different things that we're trained by outside sources other than ourselves. Like if I say plop, plop, you're already automatically thinking of fizz, fizz. And if you're an older person on the call and I say Winston's tastes good, like a cigarette should, that, and that's almost 100 years old, that saying. We're being conditioned to be off the code of our Creator. Greater is he who is within you than he who is in the world. As Red said, you can have a better life if you stop chasing things and realize that you were made to create things. Everything that you want, everything that you desire is already within you because the greater one is within you. The last point I want to focus on is that you are blank. You fill in the blanks. You are great, you're powerful, you're healthy, you're wealthy, you're knowledgeable. These are the frequencies that we should be focusing on, not I guess the TV programs, the social media influencers. You know, we chase everything. We chase our jobs, we chase after our children, we chase after money, but very few of us chase after the true reason why we were created. And if we start chasing after those things, we will find that our life will be a less struggle. And that is the true part of the Creator's code. That once you find yourself within, I'm gonna say God Almighty, that your purpose and reason for being on the planet, that's when you have no more struggles. That's when you are in perfect frequency with God. They used to say that your life is consist of the day you born and the day you die. But really your life is the period in the middle. And I'm gonna stop right there because we were made to create and not to follow.
Thank you, Chaz. Sounds like you know what this book is about. That's very, very important. Thank you. The Creator Code, master this and you'll never struggle again. 1, reality forms around who you are, not what
Yes.
you want. Not what you want. Your struggles arise from misalignment between who you truly are and who you are trying to be based on external conditioning. So most of us are always searching, what can we do? Where can we go? Where do we want to be? What do we want to see? And so on. We want to make more money. We work more for it, but we work in a sense that makes the person who hires us wealthier, not ourselves necessarily. Number 2, you were meant to create, not chase. Just as Chaz said, you're meant to create, not chase. The main thing about creating is that you just have to sit down and think, what do you want? What's inside of you? What do you need to fulfill? And yes, you can meditate 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, which I've done, and it's probably not enough. You probably need to do it in succession. You might need to do it 10, 20 times, 30 times, or as long as it takes to get there. Now, can you do this while you're working? Of course you can. And that's the good thing about this, is that you are built to be focused within you. Now, as the author explains, if you're listening to the radio, FM, and you're listening to 95.5, there's no way that you're going to be able to listen to on the same radio at the same time 104.3. There's no way. So wherever you're channeling into is where you have to focus into. So if you want to switch to the other station, you're going to have to find out if you are ready for that. You were meant to create and not chase. So these are very important to me. Now, we have a second part coming next week in reference to this book because it's a little bit longer. But what Reggie and Chaz and myself have said here is that basically, you have it. You just got to figure it out and stop being negative, because if you are negative to yourself, your body can feed on that. Even saying it passingly, jokingly, you've got to be careful, because your body is super sensitive to that. And having powerful and positive words and affirmations and so on can make a big difference in who you are meant to create and not chase. Now, gentlemen, I'd like, with your permission, to finish this off and leave for next week your brief summaries for each of this audiobook. This is the Mastermind Book Club signing off. I'm CEO David Diaz. To my left, Reggie Hilliard, and to my right, Chaz Culmer. Until next week, we will review the second part of this audiobook. Take care.